Gbadamosi writes to Agbadorians after a message he claimed was sent to his family. Babatunde Gbadamosi, who contested for the PDP's nomination to run as a candidate for Governor of Lagos State in 2011 and again in 2015, has made a statement on his official Twitter handle about the message that he claimed some Agbadorians sent to his family. The statement that the Nigerian businessman, real estate developer, and politician released read, "I got the message you sent through my family. I know the truth hurts, but you will continue hearing it until your principal surrenders the stolen mandate." But Amosi continued saying, "As for the lady I was accused of criticizing, I challenge her family to find anywhere where I have mentioned her name or alluded to her in any way. Unlike some of you, some of us still have honor standards and ethics." He concluded by saying, "I know and respect her husband personally, and I actually find it most appalling that her family members would stop or stoop this low to make unfounded allegations about me. I demand an unconditional apology through the exact same channel you used to make the allegation." Gbadamosi, who is a firm supporter of the Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Gregory B in the 2023 presidential election, has always made it known to the public that he hopes that Peter B wins the tribunal. And so there are also reactions to his statement as someone who obviously, you see, the whole thing that's happening, with the whole tribunal and the court, and I mean, it's kind of it's kind of backwards in a sense because, I mean, Tinubu has started, passing, policies. He's literally started his work and he's been inaugurated. So it's like, if we actually if there was respect and, and due process, given to the fact that actually a court case is going on that could literally change the future of the country, as in lay terms, we are basically saying the person who has won this presidency is a fraud and didn't actually win. So isn't that big enough of a deal for things to be on pause, literally, before we can then inaugurate somebody? So I think it's quite it's very sad. I think it would take immense amount of strength, perseverance, and some godlike, as in God has to just personally just put strength into the Labour Party to keep going with this, because in a country where we see frustrated efforts and a system that is literally set up to go against whatever is good and whatever is honorable. And it's ironic because it's the judicial system that's meant to then decide that. So I think as much as, we're going to have conversations about, the tribunal, because that's what the thing is. I think let's not get distracted by this person, yes, they're support of the Labour Party, but because of this, then people would have, micro and sub conversations, and then narratives are being pushed, and then this person has a fight with this person, and people are going back and forth. People are sending messages. It's all a distraction, because the person that you are fighting against is already in president. I don't understand. The actual issue here is that in the tribunal, in the court, we are trying to prove that the person that is currently president has been inaugurated, has even started work. You are basically saying that they shouldn't have started and they're basically not meant to be in the position. But this is a fight, or this is a case that's meant to be finalized before you inaugurate somebody. So it's like we're going backwards, and it's just a sign, and it's a statement from the government to just tell us that you are wasting your time. I mean, they're literally telling us to our faces. I mean, the courts are there. If you want to fight, go and fight. The courts are there. Go and engage. But as for us, we've entered. It's like the APC literally said, we have entered. We have entered. That's your own. If you want to go and argue. They've started work. So they're literally telling us, you can waste your energy, but at the end of the day, this is where we are. So don't you think that it is then backwards of us to still engage? I think, to be honest, a skill that we all just basically need to build is to, assess in news, right? Whatever is being fed, whatever narrative is being pushed, is this part of a bigger picture, or is this just part of a sub-element of a bigger picture? Because the pattern usually is that conversations and narratives, that are sub of the bigger picture tend to be more provocative in terms of pulling out your emotions, right? Again, you'd find that this tweet was given on Twitter, and so there are people who are under saying their opinions, or, someone saying, keep pressing their neck, let the truth choke them. What do you expect from people that impersonate Peter Obi in London? It's like, we then, I think it's just like drama, it's like feeding this to a population, and we just keep eating it. We keep eating it all the time. And I think one thing that is a skill is just to filter out, okay, what's the intention of this news, right? Because the conversation here is about how, how failed the judicial system is, and how our efforts are literally screaming in vain. They're screaming in vain to our faces, and we just continue. So I think it's like, I don't know what to say about it, because, again, we should fight for what is right, and the courts should honor that. But then it's like the person we're fighting against, who should literally be as active and improving that, okay, we actually won, the whole INEC, the beaver system, the scam that it all is. I mean, in a normal sense, in obviously Nigeria is not a normal country, but I think we have to keep emphasizing the normal, because we get very used to the abnormal because we are just in that space. But in a normal sense, this should be a very big deal, right? Tinubu should take it very personally to defend himself. But of course, we are not in a normal setting. And he's been inaugurated, so logically we are going backwards, because someone who started implementing policies, how would you then say, okay, let's say then Labour Party wins, and then it's proving that, okay, fine, Tinubu's not meant to be president, it's all a scam, blah, blah, blah. How would that then happen? Like, I mean, that, to be honest, would be news. I mean, that would be almost in a way revolutionary, and in some kind of way impossible, because the people that are set up against you are just, it's like, mate, don't even try. But if anything, let's say Labour Party then wins, you think that Tinubu would not have strategically made his moves that he needed to make in the first month for whatever aims he needed to put himself where he needs to be? I don't know. But it's politics, Someone comment here, it's only the Obi dogs and Obi idiots from the dot nation will take a homeless and broke guy like you serious. You see, and it's just, when you look at comments, you just look at the divide. And I think we should have a bit of a bird's eye view approach on politics, because the more we're focused on little narratives here and there, I think it's just very counterproductive, and we're just wasting our time on our emotions. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.